Chapter 1. Who the hell are you supposed to be? You? You're Dave motherfucking Strider. In a word, you're epic. You're the king of cool kids, the pimp daddy of sick nasty beats, the meaning of awesome. And you're totally flipping your shit because this is it. The big fucking day. The day you and your bro have been driving a week straight for. The day you've been fucking dreading for half a goddamn year. Wait, back this bitch up a little. Aight, cool. You can understand. A little bit of explanation. So, you suppose this shit starts off when you were just a wee tyke of 13. You were a goddamn pussy. At school, you hid behind your hair, and on the net, you hid behind fake identity. You straight up pretended to be a boy from fucking Texas for damn near 3 years, much to your twin's amusement. She was amused at how long it took you to realize that you were a boy. Flash forward a couple of years, freshman year. The beginning of high school. You went from platinum blonde hair straight down to your waist to pitch black feathery spikes, befitting your name, clad in your brother's hand-me-downs. You threw punches and insults like they were going out of style, and many a time your bro had to drag you kicking and screaming from a fight in just those first few months alone. You grew a spine. Better yet, you grew an identity. By 16, you had settled on a name. You were nearly sent to juvie the first time some douchebag insisted you were Raven after you began going by Dave. You were damn lucky your shrink was willing to come up with excuses for your behavior. By 17, you were blonde again, tall and lean with the same chillax personality you held online. By the start of your senior year, you were making tentative plans for college with your pestagem pal, John, the only kid you remained friends with the entire time you were mentally transitioning. He never knew you were a girl to begin with. Which brings us back to the day. The big day. The day you move into your dorm at WWU, into the room you'll share with John, and to suit the two of you will share with another pair of guys. Provided, of course, that you actually inform the three of them of your status. Part of you almost wishes that you hadn't managed to convince the housing assignment staff to let you do this in person. You had been procrastinating, but looking back, confessing online would have been much easier. However, you're Dave motherfucking Strider, and Striders aren't chicken shit in the slightest. You're gonna walk through the door marked 612 and flop out like you own the damn place. Oh, would you look at that? Your phone just buzzed. You will take care of the flopping momentarily. Your new text is more important. Ectobiologist began pestering Turntag Godhead at 13:43. Dave, are you here yet? You've been driving for like weeks now, man. Karkit and Solix are both already here, so hurry up. I'm literally dying to meet you, bro. Chill the fuck out, Egbert. Jesus. Just pulling in. Finally! Give me a sec to gather all this swag and I'll be up. Turntag Godhead has ceased pestering ectobiologist at 13:49. Let's do this. Your bro gives you a look through his totally red, pointy shades. You reply with a single sharp nod, pushing your own shades up the bridge of your nose. He holds your suitcase out from the trunk of his ironically shitty sedan, swinging it out like it ain't no thing, while you shoulder your backpack with the same ease. Together you make your way up to your new home, the pair of you drawing the gaze of all the ladies, like you damn well should. There ain't no girl out there who can resist the magnetic pull of a Strider, though your bro is as queer as they come and you have no interest in sticking it in anyone, even if you had something to stick in. Regardless, you make it to your shared suit unscathed, with just the slightest of up speed to your heartbeat betraying your unease. The door to 612 is locked, cracked ever so slightly, and you can hear voices in the room. Although, really, you'd have to be deaf not to hear. "Fuck you, KK!" one of the roommates yells. "In your dreams, dick munch!" the other screams straight back. You nudge the door open, the fight coming into full view. In the blue corner of the ring is a scrawny, glasses-wearing Asian kid as tall as you. In the red corner of the ring is a short ass with bald fists and a red face. Sitting backwards in the armchair is John, grinning wide like everything's all rainbows and kittens in a suit. "Fuck a fat one!" The Asian retorts, scowling through his thick lisp. You feel bro ready himself to break up a fight. Fuck no, I may have a fat one, but there's no goddamn reason why you're getting your ugly ass teeth anywhere near it. How about you boys take it somewhere private? Your bro breaks in. The homoerotic overtones of your fight is stifling. Karkin and Solux, you assume, both look over. The short one's jaw drops, while the Asian's eyebrows raise, and John grins somehow gets even wider. Dave! He calls, hopping up. Finally! You raise one hand in greeting. Sup? You're damn near knocked off your feet when John tackles you into a hug, bowling you into the door jamb. Christ, Egbert, tone it down a notch. You wheeze, squirming out of his grip. You hear your brother's sharp exhale of a laugh. You do not need to look over to see you smirk. John releases you and steps back. Oh man, Dave, you're so tall, he says, like you hadn't realized before he turns to greet your brother, with an enthusiastic wave and a "Hi, I'm John!" Behind John, the short douche crosses his arms in a huff, while his other half leans against the arm of the couch. You give each a pointed stare as your bro nods in reply to John, just once, and jerks a thumb towards himself. Sup, Dirk. John is obviously in awe of his cool. The short douche pulls a face. Carcat! He snaps a name like a curse, then tilts his head towards the other. The lispy fucker is Tholuth. You can see the spit that flies from his lips as he mocks Soloth's lips. Though he at least wipes away what landed on his chin, using the back of his hand, but still. At least he has some inkling of manners. Dear Jesus, you sound so snooty. Your sister's faux Victorian sensibilities must be rubbing off on you. Gross. Anyways, back to business. You have shit to get done. Bro closes the door firmly behind the two of you, your suitcase set neatly against the wall. You lean one shoulder against the corner of the kitchenette wall, fingers tucked neatly into your pockets. So, you say casually, your tone flat, bored. Got some shit to lay out straight for y'all before I settle in. Karkat rolls his eyes in a way that makes you want to punch him. Solix exhales and quirks one eyebrow up. John snickers and says, Let me guess, you like your beats fast and your bass down low? You know it, babe, you deadpan, one corner of your mouth twitching into the barest hint of a smirk. But that's beside the point. Figured I oughta let y'all know I'm chromosomally challenged, so you best know how to knock. Solix's other eyebrow joins the first, while John's pulled together in confusion and dear sweet Karkat says, So you're a chick! You feel Dirk shift behind you, ready to yank you back by the collar of your shirt if you decide to do anything stupid. However, you've long since learned to keep your cool. You simply flash him some teeth in a mockery of a smile and drawl. Captain Shang never said nothing about a dick being important. John grins as Karkat's eyes narrow. What the fuck are you talking about? He doesn't ask, he states. Dude, you've never seen Mulan? John asks just as you reply with Mulan was the biggest fucking tranny. John, honest to God, fucking giggles. Dude, I totally still remember that epic rant you went on about how gay Shang was for Mulan. We were, what, 15? I was 15. You remember that. It was a couple days past your birthday, and you still hadn't fully realized your status as trans. Everyone thought you were the biggest dyke freshman year, and your darling twin had bestowed upon you a DVD copy of Mulan as a passive-aggressive hint that you didn't get. Anyways, you're really fucking glad John's taken this whole thing in stride. You almost think you should knight him an honorary cool kid, but then he turns his grin back up to full force and you're all like, herp derp nup. John's doing just fine as a huge nerd. Anyways, Karkat sneers and crosses his arms so hard there's an audible thump. I still don't have a single fucking iota of clue as to what you fuckwits are going on about. You count off on your fingers. 1, swift as the coursing river. 2, all the force of a great typhoon. 3, all the strength of a raging fire. for mysterious as the dark side of the moon. I dare say I hit all these points with flying colors. Mysterious for sure. John's grin dims a little. How come you never told me? You shrug. Never came up. But your words are pretty well drowned out by Carcat yelling. Again, what the ever-loving fuck are you going on about? I still haven't the faintest fucking clue. You're a little surprised when Solix pops out with, let's get down to business to defeat the Hunts. You're not so surprised when John continues belting out the next few lines until you grab it in surprise headlock to finish off the worst with the song's namesake. I'll make a man out of you. John squawks out a protest, as if the line was aimed at him. Which, you won't lie, kind of was. Your best friend is such a kid. Even if he's had sex, oh god, that was an awkward conversation. While you start in on the second verse, you get all the way through it before John elbows you in the gut, surprising you out of the grade A macho man Randy Savage headlock you had him in, and then promptly swings you to the ground. Somehow I'll, John sends a foot on your gut, striking a dramatic pose, make a man out of you. You wheeze in turn, I'm never gonna catch my breath, amused at the irony and pretty pleased that you'll have at least one sparring partner up here. You knew John wasn't wrestling and stuff, but damn, John calls back with, say goodbye to those who knew me. You go limp on the floor for the next line. Boy, was I a fool in school for cutting gym, which you totally did. John sings out Mushu's line but breaks into some pretty serious giggles when Bro jumps in with Mulan's line right after. His falsetto shrill and ironically terrible. You're in no condition to throw out the next line either, but you do at least mime swimming across the floor like a boss. John recovers enough to continue, starting in on the chorus you quoted earlier. You jump in as the, well, chorus part, while John passionately acts out each line. He tries to continue, but he's breathless from laugh singing, and you try not to choke on your spit while you roll around on the floor like a doof. I'm seriously blown away by the sheer levels of stupidity the two of you share. Do you guys seriously know all the words? I mean, Jesus Christ, on a cracker, you're dropping the IQ of the whole fucking building. Not to mention, why do you know all the words? Fucking Solix! Look at him, you've reduced him to spouting gibberish with Jesus. KK, fuck you too. You moronic fucking improv. This isn't High School fucking Musical. John's face is turning an alarming shade of red with how hard he's laughing, backed up against the wall, slowly sliding down to join you on the floor. And what the fuck did that have to do with anything anyway? I have the Shang seal of manly approval, you tell him, breathless, and I'm betting you don't. Thus, I'm more a man than you, despite my lack of the dangly bits that you seem so very fond of talking about. Tell me, are you compensating for something? The way he bristles makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Dave, be John for a moment. You know John Egbert, and you would have never guessed at how big a dork Dave is. Seriously, who just breaks out into a song like that? Disney song! Well, besides you, of course. And he laughs, like really laughs. And he's smart. And also born a girl, which wasn't something you were expecting at all. Although you suppose it's ironic. You've known him for ages. And he's always totally been the doodliest dude to ever been a dude. Seriously. And it's not like he aren't okay with him being trans. You're a Washingtonian, born and raised. There's practically no way you could be a cis-sexist douche. Okay, yeah, you're not as Seattle, but both looks close enough. And you wouldn't have gotten all weird on him anyway. You are a little hurt that he never told you, though. John, go back to being Dave. You're back to being Dave, who's still spread out on the floor like jam on toast. Dave, get up and move in already. You stand. Carcat stomps away, apparently at some point during your impromptu ballad with John Solix set. And also Dirk. Except Solix is on the itty-bitty little couch your suit came with, and your bro is on your suitcase. He gives you a thumbs up. a slight amused grin tilting his lips. You nod in reply, all suave, cool kid, once more or less, before he stands and heads back out the door to his car for the last of your shit. You offer a hand to John to pull him from the floor. The two of you stand awkwardly in the hall. So, John wiggles his toes against the linoleum. You're not, like, gonna be weirded out by living with us, right? You raise an eyebrow, your poker face perfectly in place, even though you're kind of breathlessly panicking again. No, why should I? Are you? He shrugs. Nah. And shoots you a little grin. You're Dave. The worry melts from your heart like ice dropped in fire. Cool, let's go dump my shit then. Dirk, be proud. Your little bro's growing up. The thought brings a metaphorical tear to your eye. John, be excited again. You get to share a room with your best friend. That is so fucking cool. You don't give Dave's lack of a Y chromosome a second thought as the two of you go to unpack his stuff. You were the first one to arrive since you live less than 2 hours away, so you got first dibs on room. You pick the one with 2 separate beds since you're too blind without your glasses to manage bunk beds. You had to find this out the hard way when, as a kid, you busted open your forehead on your cousin's when you were staying over. Dave seems to approve of your selection, considering he does a pretty amazing swan dive into the naked bed first thing. Don't worry, he croons, shushing the mattress. I'm going to cover you in wonderful, hoary bad bedding. We will make beautiful ironies together all night long. Our infamy will haunt the school long after I leave. But it's okay. I will remember you just as you are. You bust out in another fit of giggles at that because gosh, Dave is a bigger dork than you. Like, yeah, he's pretty much the same as online, except a little less wordy and maybe a little mumbly. But what sounds totally awesome online kind of sounds really lame in real life. Which isn't a bad thing. Honestly, you were a little intimidated by the thought of finally meeting Dave, since you're a serious dweeb. But he secretly is too, so it's okay. But, so Raven is your real name? You ask him, settling on the edge of your own bed with a bounce. Yeah, my legal name, yeah, he replies, his face half smooshed against the mattress. The distinction he makes between real and legal is subtly blunt, because obviously Dave's real name is Dave. Duh. Although, so that's where Raven's quote came from? He snorts. Oh god, don't remind me, that was such a stupid screen name. Yeah, like turn, tag, got, head isn't. Dude, you're one to talk, ghosty trickster. You bust out laughing. You both had terrible screen names when you first met. They were truly awful, but there's no doubt that Dave's was worse. Not long after, Dave's bro, Dirk, you remind yourself, comes in to dump a pair of trash bags on Dave's legs, tossing a third at his head. Dave lets out in petulant squawk while he flaps his arms behind him to knock away the bag. As he rolls over, you think you almost can see. How could he be a girl? But then he snaps. Dude, what the fuck? At his brother with the narrowing of his eyes. And you can see from behind the shades at this angle. And yep, Dave is more of a man than you. No doubt about it. Dave, unpack. And by unpack, you mean basically just shove your shit in the closet and dump your blankets all over the bed. Yep, that's pretty good. You're not too picky. Although you probably will have to make your bed properly before the AR comes by. But whatever. Segue. It's pretty weird to chill with Egbert in real life, you must admit. Not in a bad way, of course. He's been your best bro, besides, bro, since you were a kid. Since before you were you. Your interactions has just always been over that is the internet. Not that the two of you aren't getting along in real life. Things are going smashing. It's just weird. Time pass. It's now significantly later in the afternoon. Dave successfully fester your bro into getting you food. You just did it. That is a thing that happened. Apparently there's a Denny's like 5 miles out. Cool. Turned out It's a bit of a shitty Denny's, which really you should expect because, hello, when has Denny's ever been even halfway decent? But yeah, depressing dinner, decent food, amusing company. You're squished against the wall, sharing your part of the booth with John and his over-exaggerated arm movement as he talks. He's so excited about starting classes, he can't wait to see what his professors are like. Dave, what's his schedule? Do we have any classes together? Will the music department heads like let him play on the pianos, even though he's a science major, not a music major? Is there a film club? He never fucking shuts up. But it's cool. You're rather witty online, but you mostly keep your mouth shut in real life, just in case that pesky thing called estrogen decides to fuck with your voice. John seems to have the talking bit covered anyway. Who are you to take away the sheer joy he gets from talking about anything and everything? Besides, you're too busy trying not to giggle like a dork at all the gestures he adds to his words.